This week, the Supreme Court ruled on two high-profile cases. One is the Affordable Care Act, the other, same-sex marriage. And we're joined now by Joseph DeMattos, Jr., CEO of the Healthcare Facilities Association of Maryland. It's an organization that represents nurses and other participants in long-term care in Maryland.
Hey, Kai, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So exactly what does that mean? What does your organization do?
So the Health Facilities Association of Maryland is the oldest, largest, nationally affiliated healthcare association in Maryland, representing skilled nursing and rehab centers. There are 230 of these centers in Maryland, everything from a single center, third generation, woman-owned, to Genesis Healthcare, 40 centers in Maryland, and we represent 150 of them at HFAM.
And I should have speak. The Supreme Court recently upheld a key provision of the Affordable Care Act. What does that mean for Marylanders?
It's actually two really big decisions from the Supreme Court in the last week,
which is unprecedented.
Right. One a 5-4 vote upholding the Affordable Care Act, which said that it is legal for the federal government to pay subsidies relative to individuals that get coverage in both federal and state exchanges. So another pretty powerful opinion supporting the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
And then another decision supporting marriage equity in all 50 states as the law of the land. And what that will mean for health care, both of those, is a continuing increase in the access for health care that we really saw in Maryland 2 years ahead of the ACA.
Right, because Maryland already passed its, of course, law.
Right, so Maryland expanded health care about 2 years ahead of the ACA.
Yes.
Then we did the ACA, and now we have two decisions that will just further expand accessibility to health care. And when you factor that with the aging of the boomers, it's really kind of an exciting challenge, time of opportunity for providers.
Maryland hospitals, we understand, recently generated more than $100 million in Medicare savings in the first year of the new Maryland Medicare waiver system. What does that mean exactly? And is this good news for consumers?
That's huge positive news for Maryland and for the country. So Maryland has been unique in the country for 40 years that we've had a waiver in place that allowed Maryland to set the price of care in hospitals. What it didn't set was how often you could utilize that care and link that to outcomes. So we have a new waiver, a new bet that Maryland made with the federal government. And under the terms of that agreement, Maryland gets a lump sum for care in the hospitals. The hospital gets those lump sum payments. Right. But they have to hold increases down by 3.58% and generate about $330 million of savings in the next 5 years.
But I know the Sun wrote an editorial on this, isn't the free market oftentimes businesses critical of programs like this because they want the market to live and die on its own?
So in Maryland,
without what they feel is help.
So in Maryland, the history of the waiver has actually been to the contrary. You know, in Maryland, we have 40 years of experience on the waiver, and what we've found is that the rate of growth for the cost of care in Maryland has been lower than the rest of the country. Right. And what we also found is uncompensated care when compared to the rest of the country has also been lower. So what's exciting for the waiver going forward is that in terms of the public-private partnership and the marketplace, it means now and going forward that the members of the Health Facilities Association of Maryland, our skilled and rehab centers, which already serve people younger and younger and younger, about 17% from age 30 to 60, it means that they will partner in the free market more openly, more freely with hospitals. So from that perspective, it's also actually good news.
Okay. Joe DeMattos with the Healthcare Facilities Association of Maryland. Thank you. When you come back, and I'm going to have you back, I want to talk about millennials and baby boomers and aging, because long-term care is another important thing we've got to discuss.